Alex had just finished his morning coffee when a sharp knock echoed through his small, tidy house. It was an ordinary day on Epsilon Prime, a quiet human colony on the edge of explored space. Sunlight spilled through the window, hitting the polished wooden floor. Alex was enjoying the calm, the gentle hum of life on this planet and the rare pleasure of peace. He wasn't expecting visitors. Opening the door, he almost dropped his mug. Standing there was Lyra, his alien neighbor. She was taller than most humans, with translucent skin that seemed to glow faintly in the sunlight. Her eyes were large, reflective, and bright with shifting colors, like liquid opal. Delicate lines ran along her arms and neck, bioluminescent patterns that pulsed faintly. Despite her intimidating appearance, her posture was slightly awkward, as if she was not entirely comfortable in the human world. "I'm out of milk," she said, her voice soft but precise, almost mechanical in its cadence. Alex blinked, unsure if he had heard her correctly. "You what?" "I am out of milk," Lyra repeated, tilting her head slightly. "Do you have milk?" Alex stared at her. Normally, he would have laughed, but there was something in her tone that made him hesitate. She wasn't joking. Yeah, I have milk," he said finally, stepping aside to let her in. "Come in, you mean the usual kind? Cow's milk?" Lyra stepped in, her long legs moving gracefully yet with care, as though touching the human floor was unfamiliar. "Yes, cow milk, for consumption." "For nutrient intake." Alex couldn't help himself. A mischievous grin spread across his face. "You know, Lyra," he said casually, "if you're out of milk, you might need a new mate, too." Her large eyes widened, the color shifting rapidly from green to deep blue. "Mate, no. That is unnecessary. I require milk, not mate selection." Alex chuckled, leaning against the doorway. "Relax, I'm joking, sort of. But really, why are you knocking on my door over milk?" Lyra's expression tightened. She glanced around the small human kitchen, clearly analyzing the space. "I do not understand the human humor, but it is a curious approach to assistance. You are capable of humor. That is notable," Alex grinned. "Notable, huh? Well, humans have been known to solve problems in creative ways." He gestured to the fridge. "Milk S in there, but you might want more than that. You can't just drink it straight from the carton forever." Lyra carefully retrieved the carton and examined it. The alien's fingers were long and delicate, with subtle patterns that seemed to glow faintly under the fluorescent kitchen lights. "I will adapt it to my intake," she said. "But Alex, why do you laugh? Is human laughter important?" Alex scratched the back of his neck, trying to explain without sounding condescending. "Well, laughter is how humans connect. It's how we show amusement, surprise, or sometimes just that life is strange and funny." Lyra processed this. "Life is strange," she repeated quietly. "Yes, that is consistent with observation," Alex smiled. "You're learning fast." He took a sip of his coffee, glancing at her. "So tell me why out of milk is such a big deal for you. I mean, you're not just thirsty, right?" Lyra hesitated. There was a pause in the air, heavy with curiosity and tension. Finally, she spoke. "Milk is symbolic. In my society, when one is without milk, it indicates a lack of balance in nutrients essential for social signaling. Without it, decisions regarding reproduction and partnerships may be compromised." Alex nearly choked on his coffee. "Wait, are you saying being out of milk could mean you need a new mate?" Lyra stiffened. "It is a potential consequence, not immediate but possible." "That is why your statement earlier is noted. It is amusing though inaccurate." Alex laughed, shaking his head. "I can't believe I got that right by accident. Humans and aliens really are complicated." Lyra's bioluminescence pulsed slowly, almost like a heartbeat. "Yes. Very complicated. You are intriguing, human. You approach situations without fear and with humor. That is rare." The two of them settled into an uneasy camaraderie. Alex offered her a glass of milk, and she sipped cautiously, analyzing every aspect of the liquid. "It is acceptable, nutritionally adequate, taste compatible." "Glad you approve," Alex said with a grin. "Now that that's done, tell me why you came all the way here instead of getting it from the colony market." Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. "The market is crowded. My species experiences stress in dense social spaces. You humans tolerate it better. I presumed you would be more efficient in providing assistance." Alex nodded slowly. "Efficiency, huh? Humans do have a knack for solving problems, especially when they're immediate. But you're making it sound like it's a big deal. Is it really that serious?" Lyra shook her head. "Not severe, but it is inconvenient. If I am without milk for an extended period, my decisions regarding mate selection may be influenced." That is undesirable. Alex smirked, unable to resist. Well, lucky for you I know a guy, me, who can help. Lyra blinked. You are willing to assist me, despite the potential for error. Errors are human specialty, Alex said cheerfully. I fix problems often by accident, but it usually works out. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden crash outside. Both of them rushed to the window. A small, energetic creature, clearly Lyra's pet, had escaped its containment and was bouncing chaotically through the neighborhood. Its movements were rapid and unpredictable, and its translucent skin glimmered in the morning light. Alex's instincts kicked in immediately. Stay here, he said, dashing out the door. I've got this. Lyra followed hesitantly, unsure if she should intervene. Alex sprinted after the creature, dodging obstacles, leaping over low fences, and managing to calm it with a combination of human shouting, quick thinking, and a well-timed net from his garage. After a tense 5 minutes, the creature was secured, and Lyra exhaled in relief. You humans are remarkable, she said finally. You act without fear, yet you assess risk instinctively. That is impressive. Alex shrugged, trying to hide his pride. Just common sense, plus I like a good challenge. Lyra studied him carefully. You are unlike other humans I have observed. Courage and humor combined, rare. Alex laughed. I guess that makes me special or crazy. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. Over the next few days, Alex and Lyra developed an unusual routine. He helped her navigate human appliances, adapt recipes, and understand basic human humor. In return, she explained alien technologies, peculiar social norms, and subtle hints about the biological and cultural significance of milk and nutrients. Alex found himself fascinated by her world, and she, despite her pride and initial reservations, grew to trust him. There was humor in every interaction. Alex would make jokes that went over her head, and she would respond with literal interpretations that made him laugh harder. They learned from each other, each moment building a foundation of respect and curiosity. One evening, as the twin suns of Epsilon Prime set behind the distant mountains, Lyra and Alex sat outside, watching the sky change colors. Lyra's bioluminescence shifted to match the warm oranges and purples of the sunset. Humans see beauty in sunsets? She asked. Alex nodded. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Simple things can make you feel alive. Lyra considered this. Perhaps humans have a unique perspective. They see value beyond practicality. Alex smiled, feeling a strange warmth. We do, and sometimes it helps when facing challenges, like escaped alien pets. Lyra laughed softly, a melodic sound that made Alex pause. It wasn't just the humor. There was genuine relief and connection in her tone. For the first time, he felt that the phrase, out of milk, had brought them together in a way neither could have predicted. By the end of the day, Lyra had milk for her diet, Alex had witnessed alien courage and vulnerability, and an unusual friendship had begun. Both of them knew this was only the beginning. Something about the way Lyra looked at him, the way she noticed small details he took for granted, hinted that human ingenuity and humor might mean more to her species than he realized. As Alex locked his door that night, he thought about the oddity of life. Who would have guessed that a simple knock for milk would lead to adventure, laughter, and lessons from an alien neighbor? He smiled, already anticipating the next encounter, wondering what challenges and discoveries the universe would throw at them next. And Lyra, back in her home, carefully measured her milk intake, reflecting on how unpredictable humans were. Perhaps there was more to them than she had assumed. Perhaps this one human, Alex, was unlike any other she had ever encountered. And that thought made her bioluminescence pulse a little brighter, a little warmer in the quiet of her home. The next morning, the sky over Epsilon Prime was a pale violet, the twin suns barely risen over the distant mountains. Alex sat at his kitchen table, sipping coffee, when another soft knock came at the door. He smiled knowingly. Already, you become a morning visitor, Lyra? Lyra's glowing patterns shifted nervously as she stepped inside. I apologize for returning so soon. I require assistance in acquiring glim. Alex blinked. Glim, what's that? It is a nutrient derived from a rare plant, Lyra explained, her voice calm but precise. Without glim, my species experiences imbalance in emotion and judgment. Extended deficiency may lead to errors in social interactions, particularly concerning mate selection. Alex raised an eyebrow. So, milk wasn't the only problem? No, milk is secondary, glim is essential. She tilted her head. I need to retrieve it quickly, Alex grinned. Sounds like another adventure, count me in. Lyra hesitated, then nodded. You are adaptable, I trust your judgment, but the glim plant grows on the desert moon of Zyra. The environment is hostile to humans, Alex shrugged. Hostile is relative, I can handle it. By midday, they were aboard Alex's small but sturdy shuttle, navigating the pale blue atmosphere of Epsilon Prime. Lyra's presence was both calming and strange. Her skin glowed faintly in the cockpit's dim light, and she studied the controls with curiosity, occasionally reaching out to touch switches, her long fingers hovering above them like a musician poised over keys. You humans operate differently from my species, she said finally. Your technology is rudimentary yet effective, Alex laughed. Rudimentary? I'll take that as a compliment. Sometimes simple is better. Complicated systems fail in unexpected ways. The trip to Zyra's desert moon was tense. The shuttle rocked through turbulent winds as they entered the thin, dusty atmosphere. Alex had to constantly adjust the controls, his hands steady and confident despite the danger. Lyra observed silently, occasionally offering precise advice on trajectory and environmental hazards. As they descended, the red sand stretched endlessly beneath them. Winds whipped across the barren landscape, sand lashing against the shuttle. Alex landed carefully, raising the ramp for Lyra to step out. She hesitated at the threshold. The atmosphere is breathable but contains irritants for humans, she warned. Protective measures advised. Alex pulled a mask over his face, adjusted his goggles, and stepped onto the hot, shifting sands. Lead the way, he said. I trust your knowledge of this place. They moved cautiously, navigating rocky ridges and sudden sand traps. The glim plant, Lyra explained, grew in clusters near mineral-rich outcrops, but these areas were guarded by natural defenses, spikes of rock, sudden sandslides, and shifting fissures that could trap the unwary. Hours passed as they searched. Lyra's senses detected the plant long before Alex saw it. There, she said, pointing to a pale green shimmer against the red sand. Glim, Alex grinned. Found it, let's get it before something else notices us. As Lyra began carefully harvesting the plants, a low rumble shook the ground. Alex looked up in alarm. A massive creature, clearly a native predator, emerged from a nearby ridge. Its skin glimmered like polished crystal, and multiple legs carried it swiftly across the sand. The creature's mandibles clicked rhythmically, scanning for prey. Stay behind me, Alex said instinctively. His mind raced. He couldn't fight the creature directly, it was too large and too fast, but he could outthink it. Using quick improvisation, Alex led the creature toward a series of natural sand traps, luring it into a collapsing fissure. It thrashed and screeched, but eventually the sand swallowed it, leaving the area silent once more. Lyra's glowing patterns pulsed in fascination. Your thinking is adaptive, unpredictable, impressive. Alex wiped sweat from his brow. Thanks, instinct helps. You've got to improvise when life gets tricky. She studied him closely. Your species possesses qualities we do not. You assess, adapt, and act with minimal resources. Humans are remarkable, Alex chuckled. I'll take remarkable over perfect any day. Perfection doesn't usually survive in the real world. With the predator gone, Lyra carefully secured the glim plants. We must return immediately. The extraction may have alerted others. Alex nodded. Let's move. Their journey back to the shuttle was tense. More predators emerged from hidden crevices and sudden sandstorms threatened to bury them. Alex's human ingenuity proved invaluable. He built quick barriers, improvised shelters, and even used a portable flare to distract a particularly aggressive predator. Each time, Lyra's admiration for him grew, though she tried to hide it behind analytical expressions. Finally, they reached the shuttle, battered but alive. Lyra handed Alex a small container filled with glim. You have ensured my survival and the acquisition of necessary nutrients. Your contribution is significant, Alex smiled. All in a day's work. But tell me, why is this nutrient so important for your species? You keep mentioning mate selection. Lyra's eyes dimmed slightly, a subtle sign of her contemplation. Glim stabilizes chemical signals in our bodies, particularly those affecting social judgment and reproduction. Without it, one may make impulsive decisions or misinterpret signals from others. Milk is basic. Glim ensures clarity in interaction. Without it, we risk mistakes. Alex considered this. So, being out of milk was only the beginning. Glim is the real problem. Lyra nodded. Correct, milk deficiency is minor. Glim deficiency, potentially catastrophic. As they returned to Epsilon Prime, Lyra remained unusually quiet. Alex noticed her subtle glances, the way she studied him with a mix of curiosity and something harder to define. He wasn't sure if it was trust, respect, or something deeper, but he felt a growing connection. Back at Alex's home, Lyra carefully administered the glim, following her precise procedures. Alex watched in fascination, noting her discipline and attention to detail. "You're very methodical," he said. "I must be," she replied. "Mistakes could be dangerous. You humans are more flexible but less precise." Alex smirked. "Flexible beats precise most days. You survive longer when you can improvise." Lyra's patterns pulsed in what seemed like amusement. "Your philosophy is unusual but effective." Over the next few days, they continued working together. Alex introduced Lyra to human food alternatives, explaining flavors, textures, and cultural significance. She tried pizza, chocolate, and even the odd human dessert, her reactions ranging from delight to mild confusion. In return, she taught him about alien tools, energy fields, and subtle social cues his species had never encountered. One evening, as they shared a simple meal, Lyra asked, "Alex, why do you humans risk so much for others? You could have ignored my request for help." Alex thought for a moment. "Maybe it's because we understand vulnerability. When someone struggles, we see it and act. Sometimes it's instinct, sometimes it's empathy, but it's always part of being human." Lyra considered this. "Empathy is admirable, rarely observed in our species at such instinctive levels." Alex smiled. "I guess humans have their advantages. We might not be the strongest or the fastest, but we survive, and sometimes we surprise others." Lyra's patterns pulsed brighter. "You have proven that repeatedly. Even under dangerous conditions, you assess, adapt, and act decisively. Your species is remarkable in ways we underestimate." Alex leaned back, feeling a warmth he couldn't entirely explain. "Thanks, but you've got to admit, you're pretty impressive yourself. Bioluminescence, heightened senses, analytical skills, I couldn't have done half of this without you." Lyra's glow softened, almost shyly. "Perhaps we complement each other. Your flexibility, human ingenuity, my knowledge, alien precision. Together, success is more likely." Alex chuckled. "I like that. Sounds like a team to me." As they cleaned up their meal, a soft alert pinged from Alex's shuttle. A nearby colony had detected unusual energy readings on the desert moon. Lyra's eyes widened. The extraction may have triggered a response. "Others could be coming." Alex stood quickly. "Then we prepare. Looks like the adventure isn't over yet." Lyra nodded, her bioluminescence pulsing with determination. "I trust you, Alex. Together we may overcome what is coming." That night, as they monitored the readings and planned their next move, both felt a growing respect and admiration for one another. Alex for Lyra's discipline, courage, and intelligence. Lyra for Alex's ingenuity, empathy, and unpredictable brilliance. Neither could have predicted how a simple knock for milk would evolve into a partnership capable of facing real danger. And as the twin suns of Epsilon Prime set once more, casting long shadows across the small town, Alex couldn't help but feel a thrill. Life with an alien neighbor was far from ordinary. It was unpredictable, dangerous, hilarious, and utterly fascinating. And somehow, he knew this was only the beginning. The warning lights blinked softly across the dashboard of Alex's shuttle as he and Lyra hovered above the red deserts of Zyra. The extraction of the Glim plant had triggered more than just natural defenses. Nearby sensors were picking up movement, fast, coordinated, and intelligent. Alex frowned. "Looks like someone noticed our little adventure," he said, tightening his grip on the controls. Lyra's bioluminescence pulsed rapidly. "Yes, these readings are consistent with patrol units from my species. They will investigate any disruption to natural resources. They will not be pleased." Alex exhaled slowly. "Well, that's a problem. But not one we can't handle." He cast a glance at her. "You sure you trust me to get us out of this?" Lyra tilted her head. "I trust your judgment. Your species has repeatedly demonstrated adaptive thinking and courage. These qualities will be essential now." The shuttle descended toward a narrow canyon, its walls jagged and red, offering some cover from the approaching patrols. As they landed, Alex and Lyra quickly exited, carrying the precious Glim container. The wind whipped through the canyon, carrying fine red dust that stung their faces. Alex adjusted his goggles and motioned for Lyra to follow. "Stay close," he said. We'll need to be quick and clever. They moved silently through the jagged rocks, using the terrain to mask their heat signatures. Lyra's alien senses detected the patrols long before Alex could see them. 2 units approaching from the north, she whispered. Their detection methods rely on thermal signatures. Avoid exposure, Alex grinned. Thermal avoidance? I can do that. Watch a human in action. He led them along a narrow ledge, staying low and using overhangs for cover. One patrol passed mere meters away, scanning the canyon floor. Alex held his breath, motioning for Lyra to remain still. The patrol's sensors swept over them, missed them entirely, and moved on. Lyra's glow dimmed slightly in relief. Impressive. Your instincts saved us. Alex shrugged modestly. I've had practice dodging trouble. But we're not out of it yet. They reached a hidden ravine that led toward the shuttle. Alex checked the Glim container. It was secure, intact. Okay, now for the tricky part. We have to get back without drawing attention, or we'll have more than patrols to worry about. Lyra scanned the area. The patrols are organized. They will communicate and reinforce each other. Direct confrontation is unwise, Alex nodded. Agreed, we improvise. Follow my lead. Using a combination of shadows, natural rock cover, and quick movements, they navigated through the canyon. Alex had to think several steps ahead, predicting patrol movements and environmental hazards. Each decision required precision and courage, and Lyra watched him closely, her admiration growing with every successful maneuver. After a tense hour, they reached the shuttle. Alex opened the hatch and they climbed inside. He powered up the engines, the hum vibrating through the cabin. Lyra took a deep breath, clearly impressed. Your species' ingenuity, it is remarkable, the way you assessed, adapted, and executed beyond expectation. Alex smiled. Thanks, but teamwork counts too. We make a good team. As they lifted off, the patrols below became visible, moving cautiously across the desert. Alex maneuvered the shuttle with skill, using sudden dips, tight turns, and environmental cover to evade sensors. Lyra's patterns pulsed with tension, then relief, then something warmer, like gratitude and respect. Hours later, they returned safely to Epsilon Prime. Alex guided the shuttle onto the landing pad with precision. They stepped out, both breathing heavily from the tension of the day. Lyra held the Glim container tightly. Thanks to your abilities, the Glim is secure and I am restored, Alex laughed. And no one was eaten. That's a win in my book. Lyra's glowing patterns shifted in subtle colors Alex didn't fully understand. Your humor persists even under danger. It is unique. Humans possess resilience in ways our species underestimates. Alex shrugged. We've got our ways. Sometimes it's brains, sometimes it's guts, sometimes a mix of both. Lyra nodded. And this combination saved us. She paused, looking at him. I wish to convey my respect and gratitude, Alex. You have proven humans are capable of extraordinary action, even under circumstances we would consider extreme. Alex felt a warmth he couldn't explain. Thanks, Lyra. That means a lot coming from you. Honestly, you weren't bad yourself. I couldn't have done it without your guidance and knowledge. The next day, word spread among the colony that Alex had successfully navigated the desert moon, retrieved the rare Glim plant, and evaded multiple patrols. The Alien Council contacted Lyra, curious about the human who had acted so boldly. Lyra prepared a report, detailing Alex's courage, resourcefulness, and ingenuity. When council members arrived to meet him, they were surprised to see a human standing confidently in front of them, holding his head high. They had expected recklessness or impulsiveness, but instead, they found intelligence, strategy, and moral courage. Lyra spoke first. This human, Alex, has demonstrated qualities our species rarely observes: courage, adaptability, humor, and ethical decision-making, all in the face of danger. The council examined Alex closely. Your species behaves differently from ours. Are these traits common? Lyra's glow pulsed gently. Not universally, but this individual exemplifies human potential. Ingenuity, resilience, and morality combined can surpass what many would consider limitations. Alex stepped forward. I just did what anyone would do. Help a neighbor, solve a problem, and keep everyone safe. But I'll admit, humans can surprise you. The council conferred quietly among themselves. After a long pause, they turned back to Alex. Your actions have proven one thing clearly. Humans, despite their perceived simplicity, possess unique qualities that can complement and even surpass advanced technologies and strategies. Your species is remarkable. Lyra's bioluminescence pulsed brighter, clearly pleased with their judgment. Alex smiled awkwardly. I'll take remarkable. That sounds better than simple. Over the next few days, Alex and Lyra worked to integrate the glim safely into her home systems. The nutrient stabilized her, ensuring her judgment, social signals, and emotional balance were restored. Alex learned more about the alien culture, how a seemingly simple nutrient had deep implications for relationships, society, and survival. During this time, their bond deepened. Humor, respect, and admiration grew into a connection neither fully understood but both appreciated. They shared stories of Earth and Epsilon Prime, exchanged lessons in survival and creativity, and often laughed at cultural misunderstandings that seemed trivial but revealed profound differences. One evening, Lyra approached Alex with a soft glow. Earlier, you mentioned that lacking milk might require a new mate. I considered this. Your humor, your insight, it is undeniable. Humans truly see situations differently. Perhaps, your species is capable of forming meaningful bonds beyond initial biological necessity. Alex laughed, scratching the back of his head. You mean maybe a human's humor and cleverness can be more important than just nutrients? Lyra's glow shifted to a warm green. Precisely. Perhaps the human approach to social interaction, empathy, humor, unpredictability, is valuable, more than I realized. Alex grinned. Well, Lyra, I can't promise perfect guidance, but I can promise to be myself, and that seems to be more helpful than either of us expected. They spent the next few days in quiet companionship, working, laughing, and sharing insights. The incident with the glim had changed something fundamental in both of them. Alex had demonstrated the ingenuity, adaptability, and bravery that humans were capable of, even in a galaxy that often underestimated them. Lyra had learned to trust, to see value in unpredictability, and to respect a species different from her own. Finally, the day came when the council called for a formal meeting. Alex stood beside Lyra as she presented the success of their mission and the humans' contributions. The council members listened intently, clearly impressed. Humans are capable of extraordinary ingenuity and courage, one member stated. Perhaps the galaxy has underestimated your species. Alex smiled quietly. You're starting to understand, we're not perfect, but we find ways to succeed. Sometimes with humor, sometimes with guts, sometimes with clever thinking, but we survive and often we thrive. Lyra's glow pulsed gently, a sign of approval and satisfaction. You have exceeded expectation, Alex. Your species is worthy of respect and consideration. You have proven it, Alex chuckled. Thanks, but I think the real lesson is teamwork. Humans, aliens, whatever species you are, working together is how we really get things done. Lyra nodded. Indeed, cooperation, courage, and ingenuity, your species exemplifies this. Perhaps more humans should interact with our kind. The galaxy would be better for it. As they left the council chambers, Alex and Lyra shared a look of quiet understanding. Their journey had begun with something as simple as milk, evolved into a perilous desert mission, and culminated in proving the remarkable potential of humans in a galaxy that often doubted them. Alex grinned. You know, I never thought milk would lead to this. Lyra's glow shimmered warmly. Nor did I. Perhaps simplicity carries unforeseen consequences, and perhaps humans are more extraordinary than even we imagined. Alex laughed, shaking his head. I guess that's one way to put it. Adventure, danger, friendship, and a little humor, all from a knock on my door. Who knew milk could change the galaxy? Lyra's bioluminescence pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. Indeed, and perhaps human humor and ingenuity are far more powerful than mere nutrients. Perhaps they are essential. As they walked back toward Alex's home, the twin suns of Epsilon Prime set behind them, casting long, golden shadows across the town. Alex felt a strange warmth, a sense of accomplishment, and the quiet thrill of a universe full of possibilities. And Lyra, beside him, understood that humans, chaotic, unpredictable, humorous, and brave, were capable of far more than her species had ever imagined. Together, they had proven that courage, ingenuity, and cooperation were universal strengths. And sometimes, the simplest gestures, like offering a neighbor milk, could change the course of lives and even shape the future of civilizations. And with that thought, the galaxy seemed a little brighter, a little more alive and full of promise.